Hello. Hello, I'm trying to test the audio. Please let me know if it's working fine. Okay, perfect. I really appreciate your patience. Thank you. Okay, please let me know if you can help me by sharing this URL with your friends on your Facebook accounts, maybe in some groups or other pages. Okay, this would be very helpful. Okay, I have many tabs because I was trying to fix this issue. For some reason, YouTube was insisting on using Mr. Sameh, thank you. I really appreciate this. I have many tabs. I was trying to fix this issue, and finally I found that I have to create another streaming, but we are here finally. Okay, perfect. Okay, what I'm going to do now is just try to announce to everyone else that we have changed the live streaming. I understand that subscribers will get notification, but I need to make sure that everyone else will know about this. I will do this very fast. I think so that one will work. So Twitter will not work. Please, guys, feel free to share this with your friends again on your profiles. It will be nice of you. Of course, I will not waste time more than we already did. So directly, I will just need to do this for the last time. Share it on my personal profile. Do you think that everything is okay for now? I mean, do you have any problems? Do you think it's working fine? Do you think that everything is okay? We still have 3. I'm not sure if everyone else know about this change we have made. Okay, we have 4. We have. Okay, Khudair, are you there? Okay, I think that I will start anyway, and whoever does not get a chance to join, he will know later, maybe by sharing posts. Okay, and okay, so let's start. Please let me know if you think that everything is okay. This will be the final test, and immediately I will start with the session. Okay. Can you hear me, guys? Okay, thank you, Mr. Anderson. I'm saying it in the correct way. Mr. Sameh, Mr. Zach, please let me know if you have any problems. Okay, it's really nice to meet you. Anyone else can share his experience with audio? Do you have any problems with the audio? Do you think that's working fine? Okay, perfect. Okay, so I think that I had a problem with YouTube. It insists to use an encoder. Encoder, it's intermediate software that helps me to live stream on YouTube. Okay, this it doesn't work perfectly. This is OPS. It does not work perfectly on Ubuntu. I'm not sure. It might be by my machine. So I had to use Hangouts. This session is live using Hangouts. Okay, assalamu alaikum, Mr. Ahmed Salama. It's a pleasure to see you here. Okay, guys, I think that you remember that we have this car request application to make sure that you know what we are going to do now. I'm not sure if you guys were following from the beginning, but if you went to YouTube, this is my channel. Okay, hopefully that you are subscribers so that you can get notifications. You can go directly. Okay, I really appreciate this, Mr. Anderson. Okay, so this is the live sessions. Okay, you are talking about this, Mr. Anderson. This is the live sessions. I already be happy. I would be happy if it really helps you, as Mr. Anderson did already. Okay, so you can directly go to these videos and follow these videos one by one to make sure that you are getting notification for new sessions. Please do not hesitate to subscribe to my channel. Also, you can find my Facebook page. It's facebook.com/morepython. Okay, it's really makes me happy, Mr. Zach, too, to know that you get some benefits from these videos. Okay, this is also my my pleasure. This is my Facebook page. Please, also you can get a notification if you are a follower to this page. Okay, so you will be able to find find a notification for each new session. Okay, and finally, this is what I'm going to share with you. It's my GitHub account. Okay, where you can find the module. So whatever we are doing here in these sessions will be directly pushed to this repository, so you can just clone. Okay, you can clone these changes or updates in the modules. Okay, and of course you can get what we are going to do today too. So again, I will close all of these just to keep focusing. Okay, so for now, if you remember that we have already worked on some sub concepts in Odoo, like generating a new module using scaffold. You remember these controllers? We already talked about this. You can use this already all the time with the website, also with endpoints. It's about integration with other applications. Okay, I already have something to show you also on GitHub. I will show you just to make sure that you understand this. It was about Odoo num verify. By the way, num verify is a service on okay, this is what num verify is about. This is an API, and you can use the code to integrate, I mean, controllers. Okay, so you can write your code here to trigger and or ask for an integration, some data from another API. This demo data, it's about adding demo data for testing. Okay, by the way, you can install Odoo using demo database. This will help you to have some customers, some invoices, some sales orders, so that you can do testing very easily. Okay, and here are the models. This is where you can create your database fields. Okay, all the columns, all of its properties will be added here. We already created some. We have already created some fields with different types, like character, date time again, minute one, twice, and selection. Finally, selection. Okay. Of course, we will do this, but I need to focus on Python a little bit, and of course, we are going to go through all concepts. Okay, I'm answering this question. Okay, we will go through everything else. Okay, so let's proceed. For views, also we have created these views. I mean, form view and tree view, the actions and the related menus. At some point, of course, we will create this. I mean this Kanban view. But for now, we need to focus a little bit on some basic concepts, because Kanban, you are not using this very frequently. I mean, you are not creating a new Kanban view each day. Okay, but of course, you will create a model. You will create maybe a security file, maybe some views. Okay, that's why I need to focus on this, because this is what a beginner needs for daily work. Okay. Okay, for today, I'm going to talk about constraints. Okay, for constraints, it means that you need to check data. In other words, you need to validate data and make sure that it works in a right way, and it wrote or added in the form view in a correct way that prevents some conflicts between data, like having an employee. I mean, the employee can have an email. This cannot be repeated for other employee. It means that the email should be unique all the time. Also, you can let's say add a constraint to make sure that you do not have any Gmail account, because you are in your company. You need that all employees have your own domain or an email with your domain, something like that. Okay. So checking the uniqueness of some data, this is part of this. This is what constraints are doing. And also adding constraints. Of course, we will know what these are working, and in which situation you might need this data. Okay, so for now, I think that I will use email field, because actually this will be very useful for our example. So I will create a new email. Okay, get ready, guys. You remember that we have added these templates that will help you to create a new field like that. So easy. Okay, so all you need is to create. Okay, I can do this, by the way, again, just typing Odoo. You will get all the fields. You might add ch to find field very easily. That's what I did for email. Okay, so for now I will add email. I can make it required or not. That's what I can do, but I will not, of course. Let's. Okay, before I proceed, can you please confirm that you can see this font, or should I use presentation mode? Which one do you think that it's better? I will be waiting for your answer. Guys, are you there? Okay, so both are readable. Okay, I really appreciate your answer. Okay, welcome, Mr. Born. Okay, Born Grady, I really appreciate your presence. Perfect. So we agree that we will use presentation mode. Okay, so let's proceed here. That I will, of course, I added this email. Okay, so here we have this form view. I will add the email, let's say here, and just by adding a new field with name email. This is one we have already created. Okay, so let's check our configuration to make sure that we will update the module. Okay, you can see this configuration. I'm sure that if you already did go through the other videos, you know that what we have done here. Okay, this is about updating the module each time you restart your server with no need to go to apps upgrade module. Okay, this will make it easier and a little bit quicker. Okay, so what I'm going now, I will hit Control 5 to restart the server. You might have another shortcut. I mean Control 5. This will restart my server. Okay, Mr. Ahmed, do you think this one is not good? Welcome, Mr. Hosni. Mr. Ahmed Salama, do you think that I need I mean, this presentation mode does not work for you? Okay, I'm not responding, so I have to proceed. I'm sorry. Okay, so now we have this email. Let's say I will add my email for this one. Okay, I will add. Okay, thank you, Mr. Anderson. So I think I will also zoom in a little bit here. Now I have added this email here. Okay, this is my email, or let's say the email of this employee. Of course, we can make it more useful by bringing or getting the email from this employee once you choose it or selecting it. Okay, but we can do this later. For now, I have this email here and just a character field or a text, a short text field. Let's say that you need to make it clickable. This is a good chance actually to use a widget. Well, I'm not sure. Okay, it's flickering now. It's working. Okay, it might be the internet. I'm sorry, you guys. I think you are far away, so I think it might have some streaming problems. Okay, so if you are going to use email, I think that it's a good chance to use its related widget. And again, widgets is one of these attributes that might help you to change the behavior and the behavior of the field, and also how it looks. Again, this widgets do two things, actually do a couple of things. It will change the behavior of the field, and also it will change how it works. Okay, so now we still have this character field. Let's restart the server to update and make sure that this widget will be included. As you can see, this is not clickable and does not just a text. Now it's a clickable. Okay, if you can see this here, somewhere here it will have a new link. Okay, so by clicking this, it will start your mail client. Okay, that's why I thought that it was a good chance to use this widget. Okay, you can keep this in your mind. Again, widget does a couple of things. It changes how this field will look like, and also how it will behave when you try to use it. Okay, so for now it just changed how the usage of it. Okay, so let's say that I will start with adding a new constraint. The first one and the simplest one is SQL constraint, SQL constraints. And by the way, it's just a list of tuples. Okay, it might be a list of tuples or tuples. I'm not sure how you can pronounce this, but underscore SQL constraints, just like name inherit and description, and they are all available in model. Let's move to model. Okay, it inherits from base model, and here in base model you have these all options like name, description. You have this inherit also. Okay, you might have constraint or SQL constraint. Okay, and this is one of let's say really many attributes that you can use for your model. So this SQL constraint is what we are using here. I think that we have moved through these concepts and what does this mean, I mean, in the model and the other options already there. So this is a list of tuples. You can add many tuples and each one of them will do something. Okay, but for now I will create a new SQL constraint, let's say unique email. Okay, this is the name, and this is how you write it. This is actually a rule in database. This is the name of the field. Okay, and of course we can add a message that will be raised if you are trying to add an email that is already used for another employee. Okay, so let's say that let's check. You have, okay, I think that, okay, we have no problems. Okay, so we have this SQL constraint. Okay, you do not have to keep it in your mind all the time. Actually, what you need is, if you wanted to know how to write it, please do not hesitate to search for an example. So what I'm going to do now is searching for an example. Okay, so we have something like this. It's SQL constraint. It's a list of tuple. You can find something else like this one. It's again SQL constraint, and this is another example. So it's a good chance also to check this one. This is a SQL constraint. It's a list of tuples. This one tuple here. This is a name, just a description. What this SQL constraint is doing actually. So this is one of the options you can use for SQL constraints. Check. This are two fields that membership date to is greater than membership date from. Okay, and this is the error message, or let's say the message will be shown for will be raised for the end user if he's trying to add wrong dates. Okay, this is also here. This is great actually, because we have 3 tuples. Okay, so keep in mind that you can add whatever you want. I mean, more constraints, and how this actually constraints are working. This is the magic, or let's say the good point here. So let's start a console. I will zoom in a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to log into my database. I have this name, employee car request. Also keep in mind that you can get the database name if you forget it from here, the log. Okay, you can find it here. Each line, it will mention which database you are working on. This will be useful if you are running many instances and you have only one log file. This is not practical, of course, to have one log file for many databases or many instances, but just in case you have such situation. Okay, so in this case you will know which each line here is related to which database, and this is the case. So now I got this database. I will connect to this one. Okay, let's zoom out a little bit. I think that we will need this. What was the name? It was card underscore requests. Okay, I think I need to zoom out again. Okay, so now we have this description here. Okay, we have I think we have normal very normal rules. Okay, and here's the magic that I promised to show you, that by updating the modules, yes, it means that the SQL constraints we have added here will take place in the database. Now we have this. Okay, so again, SQL constraints, it means that it will be a rule in the database. I mean, it will be directly affecting the table. In other words, if you are trying to insert a new row using SQL like this, insert something on this table, actually it will not work, because the SQL constraint, it will prevent this behavior. And this is one of the main difference, or let's say a unique characteristic of this option, because the other type of constraint, you will not, or let's say this will work on the application level. It will work on the framework only, not in the database too. This one is working for database, and this is one of the basic and main differences between SQL constraint and the other constraints we are, of course, going to work on right now. So I think that I will add this note here, that SQL okay. Keep in mind that T here, one of the differences too, but it's a typing difference, so you do not have to pay more attention to this. So SQL constraints is working on database level, and you can find it in the table. Okay, just type this one, let's say /d, means that /d means that you will you are trying to get the description of a table name. Okay, and this is exactly what we did right now, so you can check if it's already there or not. Okay, okay, so the other, by the way, I forgot to let you know that okay, and of course you can search for examples, as I mentioned. You do not have to keep everything in your mind. Okay, you are not a hard disk to keep everything in your mind. Okay, so I will start now by committing this. Please let me know if you think that I'm going so fast. Please let me know if I'm going too slow. It will actually very help me to understand what should I do to make it better. Okay, while I'm doing this, committing this, please let me know. Again, I'm waiting for your answer. What I'm going to do now is get add -p. Thank you, Mr. Zach. I really appreciate this. So get add -p. Oh, so I think that I have messed up something. I mean that using get means that you are committing your changes to GitHub, so that your team can understand what you already done. Okay, so again, what I have done here, actually I have two changes. One of them is adding a field, the other one is adding a SQL constraint. What I'm going to do right now is doing edit. Okay, so again, here to remove lines, make it empty, and to remove plus like this, delete them. So what I'm going now is to delete these lines all, just to exclude it from the commit message that I'm going to do right now. This will help you to keep your commit messages very clean and very specific for your, I mean, your team members will understand what you are going to do now. So let's save it. So my modification does not apply. Okay, so no problem. I will do it in manually. I'm going to do now. I think you do not have to do this all the time. I will remove my changes here and just keep this email, and I will get added again. So I have this field here, yes, and also we have this change also here. So I'm yes again. I will add my commit messages, get commit -m. Okay, let's add our other changes for SQL constraint. Add yes. Okay, so we have these changes. Of course, we need to test this. I have this email here. Let's say that I will create a new request. Okay, so I will use ready data. I have this employee, this, okay, this car. By saving, I should have this message. Okay, guys, you remember this message, of course, because we have added this here. The email should be unique. That's what we got here, because I'm trying to use the same email, so it should be unique. So let's say that I will remove this M to make it unique. Okay, it's working. Okay, so let's say this is how SQL constraints work. Of course, you can try the other option to make it unique. Okay, I think I have a problem with the network. Guys, you still following? Hello, you still following? I got a notification that I have a problem with network. You still following? Please let me know. Okay, thank you, Mr. Anderson. Okay, so I think it's the same case for other people. Okay, guys, so we have this SQL constraints, we have tested this, and also, again, I'm confirming that there is another option to be used is check, and you can find some examples for this. Okay, now, the other option is to create a constraint in the application level. Okay, this SQL constraints in the database level, and of course, it will work perfectly for the application. Okay, by trying to add a duplicated email, of course you will get this error message. Okay, so let's say that you want to make it just in the application level in Odoo. You can add, or let's say can use this @api.constraints and just add the field, or might be another field like, let's say, name, okay, or something else. Okay, but I will make it simple by using email only. Okay, please just, to avoid any typo errors, we have here constraints with no T. There is no T, just like this one. Okay, I'm just trying to make sure that you will not make typo errors that you will spend a lot of time to find. I mean, okay, so is it clear? I wish it's clear that this SQL constraint has an extra T that does not found here. Okay, of course, I'm not a native speaker, so I'm not sure which one is correct. but this is how you can type it here in Odoo. Okay, so where to get these decorators in Python? This is a decorator in Odoo. Let's say an open object framework. I wish you know that Odoo is using a framework named open object, and it's written for Odoo. Nothing, I mean, no other applications are using this framework. Okay, so how to get this API? Just like fields here and models, they are all imported here. That's it. Okay, so you have models. I mean, from Odoo you imported models, fields, and API. This is here models. You have fields also, and the same for API. Okay, so let's start by creating this check email. Okay, hopefully you are okay, you are following. So let's proceed. So now what I'm going to do is let's say that I need to make sure that no one will add his personal email. So we have these emails like Gmail, Yahoo, let's say Hotmail, I think, Outlook. Okay, all of these email will not be accepted. That's exactly what I'm going to do right now. Okay, so let's say if, excuse me for a second, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I think I got something in my mouse. Okay, so if self dot email dot ends with, let's say, gmail.com. Okay, this will raise user error. Gmail. Oh, not. Okay, so I think this needs to be fixed. Let's try this. Okay, so you already have this option here. I mean, I was trying to do here is to use PyCharm facilities, okay, and PyCharm tools. So what I did already, that I got my cursor here. I will get this red lamp, and now this exception. Now it's imported, and this red underline is moved. So from Odoo exceptions, import user error. Of course, you can do the same for self.email. And no, ends with so we have now these two error messages that will be raised if you are trying to add an email that ends with yahoo.com or gmail.com. Just keep in mind that ends with, okay, there is also starts with, and this is Python. Okay, this is not Odoo framework, this is Python. So whatever you have a character or some text, you can use it with ends with or starts with. This is Python. Okay, so let's say that I will add another email with yahoo.com here in Odoo. Okay, I will use the same, but Yahoo. Yahoo is not accepted. That's it. Okay, so again, let's use Gmail. Save. The mail should be unique. This is one of, yes, of course, a validation error. I will use it, of course, no problem. But I think the validation error is not one of these options here. I mean, let's check. Access denied, access error. Ah, yes, it's one of the options. I'm sorry. I will use it. Again, you can think about it as a user error. Someone is trying to, enter some wrong data. So that's why I think about it as a user error. But it's the same, and I'm okay. It's a good chance also to, let everybody know that there is another exceptions. I mean that Odoo, of course, handles different exceptions. So let's move this Gmail, yahoo.com, save. Yahoo is not accepted. Okay, let's add this here and save. It will work. Let's find the other one for Gmail. Yes, this one. Because it was preventing us to store because it's unique. Yes. Okay. Can you see this? This is what one of the differences between SQL constraints and API constraints. Okay, what I'm going to do now is trying to save this form using Gmail account, and actually it will work. Let's say that I will create another one. The dummy data is this date. Okay, this Gmail, actually I will change it to PXYV. No. Okay, so let's pick some data. By confirming this, it showed yes, Gmail is not accepted. Okay, so what's the difference between this one, I will discard of course, and this record? If I edit something here, here is the difference. Constraints. Check, or let's say triggered for the listed fields. What I mean by listed fields here, I mean this email. Okay, only in creation and updating. If it's triggered or will check in updating mode, why it does not trigger for this one? Because actually you did not change this. You did not update this field, so it's in the same way it will work. Okay, so let's say that I move this M and add, it will work. Now let's add this M again. Now it ends with gmail.com. So by saving, it will be triggered because I modified this field, and this is exactly when this constraints will be triggered. So, and actually this is related to how the two methods for creating and updating are working. Okay, the create method, it's of course it's part of models. Let's move to models. Okay, this one. Okay, if create, this will get all the values list. In this case, it will get all the values. I mean, every single field in this form will be included in this vals list. Okay, but for write, and this is a method responsible for updating the records. Actually, these vals will include only the values for the updated fields. Okay, and this is how it's working. So this this field will not trigger in the normal way until you actually change the value in this field. And this is how the constraint work. Okay, so for this models, this constraints, and constraints for the constraints, it will be triggered only for the application level. So if you have this API, let's say you have an AI, if you have trying to change the forms, okay. Guys, are still following? Hello, Mr. Anderson, you can hello. Okay, so I think I'm online back. I'm sorry for this. Okay, so we're already done with these two types of constraints. The first one is about, again, the SQL constraints, and it will work in the database level, but this one will work on, again, this. We'll add here this notification API dot constraints. Means that this constraints will never be triggered if you're trying to insert in database. And this is one of the differences between SQL constraint and API constraint. For SQL constraints, it will be triggered if you are trying to use SQL, like insert, update this SQL. It will never be triggered if you are trying to do insert and update. That's what we have here. Okay, so when you can use, or let's say decide to use SQL constraint and check email. I'm sorry, again, when will you decide to use SQL constraint or API constraint? Okay, mainly this is about how complex your constraints are. So for let's say that you are trying to do some calculations and you will do some requests from somewhere else and check another table for to make sure that your constraints are working fine. In this case, writing Python code will make it easier for you. But if it's just simple, just to make it unique, this will help you and will, will be very helpful and will be very straightforward. Okay, so again, you have a complicated or a complex calculations. I think that API constraints will work for you. If you are just trying to make it unique or just check simple values, I think that SQL constraints will work for you. Oh, I'm really sorry. So if you can hear me right now, if you still have a problem, I think I'm done with the concept I'm trying to explain. If you think that we can stop, actually we can do. Please let me know. Okay, so thank you, Mr. Anderson, for your notification. Now it's good. Okay, we are done with the constraints anyway. And by the end of this session, I'm really sorry for these connection issues. I think I will try my best to find another solution and make it better in the next sessions. I wish that you got some benefits and you now understand what's our SQL constraint and the other constraint. Keep in mind that we also have used this widget to make the emails clickable, and I think I will make it discard. Now it's clickable. Okay, Mr. Hosni, I mean the scope of this live session is done. Okay, so I think that Mr. Mohamed, I have nothing to say more. I think if I'm going to proceed, I think that I will start with only change and other. I mean a new thing to in the framework. So I think it would be better to make each video specified and I mean, and to keep everything in the scope. So I really appreciate your kind words, but in other way, I need to stop But of course, I welcome any questions. If you have any questions, if you have any query in your mind, do you think that I need to add more examples in the same context? I mean, for these constraints, SQL constraint or API constraint. So if it's working for you, I mean, you understand it well. Okay, I think I will stop. Okay, so Mr. Andrew, of course, we will add images again. I'm just trying to focus on the basic concepts. So adding an image, this is not what you are doing daily. That's why I'm not focusing on this. But of course, you can find an example in employee form or in the partner form. This can make it faster for you. For Mr. In adding a button in that review, you mean to add something here for each record, or you mean to add something here? I'm not sure what you mean actually. Mm-hmm. Next, create. I think this will be complex. Actually, to be honest, I did not try to do this before, but I think this will be complex because it needs a lot of JavaScript work, or maybe a few JavaScript work. But actually, I have never tried to do this. This is a problem. Actually, I'm sorry. Yes, exactly. Event listener, maybe something else. I think it's simpler than adding an event listener, but. I'm sorry. I'm not sure how can I help this. I need to do some research regarding this point. I'm sorry. Okay. For adding an image, of course, this will be one of what we are going to do next. But for now, again, I think that we will stop here. Um, Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel so that you can get the notification when I create another live session. Also, please do not hesitate to follow my page on Facebook. I really appreciate this, Mr. Anderson. Thank you all, guys. Mr. Ahmed Samir, Mr. Ahmed Salama, Mohamed Hosni, Anderson, Zach. I'm not sure if Zach is still following us. So also, Zach, thank you all. I wish I do not forget anyone. Thank you.